with those striking workers in the state of Michigan. Bob Nardelli, terrific guest to have on today, joins us now. Bob, the former chairman and CEO at Chrysler. Terrific to have you on the program because of the perspective you can add, right? You've dealt with all of this before, striking auto workers back before the financial crisis, I guess in 2007, 08, 09, that time period. What are you noticing is the difference now, if anything, as these current auto workers are on strike, now versus then?
Yeah. So one of the big differences is this is a newly elected president. I was blessed to have Ron Gettelfinger, who had been in position for a very long time. He was very astute financially and operationally. He understood the crisis that surrounded us with the financial meltdown. And he was very, very supportive of trying to make the right decisions to keep all three alive, point one.
Right.
Point two, this new president made some very, very aggressive commitments, some overreaching, like being paid 40 hours for 32 hours of work, reestablishing the pension. And of course, the rank and file bought into all that, but now he's got to deliver. The next thing, he broke with a lot of tradition. Usually this was a very private negotiation. It was with one company, and then the other two kind of matched that or mirrored the settlement. He's also doing this thing, he's negotiating in the media, which is also a very dangerous thing to do because you get yourself boxed into the corner. And as they continue to take more layoffs, and then there's forced layoffs because of production shortages and supply, now we've seen Ford kind of back into this thing and say, well, we're going to cancel a $3.5 billion battery plant that was scheduled to be built in Michigan for over 2,000 potential UAW workers. So this continues to get more polarization. And the issue is the farther apart they get, and it's going to be a matter of who blinks first, Colin. So this is not going in the right direction.
Let's talk about specifically some of those demands which have been well publicized and you outlined, but we'll put on the screen here for the purposes of our audience the 36% raise in 4 years, the 32-hour work week. There's a lot there, reinstating cost of living protections, restoring traditional pensions as well. I want to talk to you about that a little bit, the pensions, which is an interesting story that they want to go back in time, the auto workers, to a time when pensions were a big part of certainly that industry and other industries around the country. But first, President Biden on the picket lines yesterday had this to say. Let's listen to the president and then you can react. Here he is.
You guys, UAW, you saved the automobile industry back in 2008 and before. Made a lot of sacrifices, gave up a lot, and the companies were in trouble. But now they're doing incredibly well. And guess what? You should be doing incredibly well, too.
Okay, so the president's basic argument there, as you heard, is that, all right, they are doing better. And to his point, he's right. I mean, versus back then when those companies, ended up going bankrupt and there was a financial crisis that quickly followed some of those negotiations. We have automakers making profits post-COVID, according to the Financial Times, who put it up. The number we have is $70 billion. But the point is they're making a lot of money now. So why can't they go back in time, Bob, to, say, bringing back things like pensions? What would be wrong with that now?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it would be impossible to go back to 07 and try to, recognize the pension exposure and so forth. And again, this is not unique to the auto companies. I mean, many of the corporations today have found that they can no longer support a pension program. And then one of the things we did back in 7, 8, 9 is we put in the VIVA program, which was the voluntary employee assistance program that moved, in the case of GM, about $55 billion over to the union, and that was subsidized by all three of us, so that they took care of their own health care costs and tried to manage that in a more efficient and effective way. The thing, if you look at the chart you had there, remember they started at 46% wage increase. It went to 40, 36. Here's what's happened. They're standing in line. They saw the UPS settlement of 40%. And of course, what they didn't see or didn't talk about was when the Teamsters said that was the most lucrative contract he ever settled, they forgot to mention the yellow freight line that laid off 30,000 Teamster drivers. Then you got American Airlines got a big settlement, and then you got the dock workers on the West Coast. So they're standing in line. And let me be clear, because of this administration's policies that is actually inflating inflation, let's start with energy, 40% up. I support household families trying to get a decent living to offset this inflation. But what's happening now is this cost of this strike is going to trickle down. We could see as many as 1.4 million people out of work. it's about a 10-to-1 ratio for 145,000 UAW workers. You could see a 10-to-1 ratio. That will trickle down. Then you have dealerships in every neighborhood. You're going to start to affect the inventory. Salespeople will be laid off. And you won't get component parts. You won't get your car repaired.
Right.
So this has devastating impact on our economy.
No doubt, the ripple effect.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.